Hello and welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. My name is Emily and I have run 12 marathons and countless smaller races, and today I'm going to tell you about my top 3 favorite marathons that I have ever.
Come on in, come on up, come on over for the merriest time of year.
All right, let's get started. First off is the New York City Marathon. If you haven't watched my recap from the 2022 New York City Marathon, I will leave a link either in the description box below or it will be in the end card at the end of this video. I have run the New York City Marathon 3 times. The first time was in 2016, and here's the medal from that. And that was my first New York City Marathon and my second marathon ever. I ran that marathon with high hamstring tendonitis, so it was literally a pain in the butt. From mile 17 and on, I actually had to walk the rest of the race because it just hurt too bad to run. So this medal was definitely hard fought and brought to you by the cheering crowds in New York City. The next time I ran the New York City Marathon was in 2019, and here is the medal from that. And that race was awesome. I was doing really good, and then the last 6 miles, my stomach just started really hurting, and I was dry heaving every mile, every time I tried to run, basically. So I ended up walking the last 6 miles of that marathon. And then again, I ran it because I am a glutton for punishment, apparently, in 2022 in November of this year. And here is that medal. And this race was amazing. It was definitely the race that I needed. The crowd support during the 2022 New York City Marathon was like way better. It was above and beyond any of the other 2 races, New York City marathons that I had run. So this was an amazing, amazing, amazing race. Again, I will link this race in the end card because nothing compares to this. And that is why it is taking my #1 spot for one of my favorite marathons. Next up on my list for my top 3 favorite marathons is the Walt Disney World Marathon. The first time I ran this race was back in 2018 during the 25th anniversary of the race. So this is the medal that I got there. And if you see, it spins. So it's got the little shoe and the 26.2 on the back, and then it's got Mickey on the front. And it is nice and shimmery and has the date of the marathon. This was the first time I had ever run a race at Walt Disney World, and I only did the marathon this year. And then subsequent years, I have done the Dopey Challenge, which is the 5K, 10K, half and full marathon. As part of that, in 2020, before the world shut down, I ran the Dopey Challenge, and here is the marathon medal from that challenge. It is also a spinner. Disney likes to do spinning, but it's cute because it's got Minnie running on one side and then it's got Mickey running on the other side. This marathon was hard fought. It was my 3rd marathon in 3 months, and I was just tired. I was tired of training. So kind of like right now, I was a little bit tired of training, but I'm so happy that I did it. And then afterwards, my friends and I spent a whole week in Disney World just going to the parks and enjoying and having a good time. And this is the race that really solidified my love for Disney and my love for Run Disney. The beginning of this year, 2022, I ran the Dopey Challenge, and this is the medal that I got. It's commemorating the 50th anniversary of Walt Disney World. And again, it has Minnie and Mickey running on either side. And it says the world's most magical celebration on the back, and on the front, it just has the 2022 marathon and the amount of miles at 26.2. The reason why this comes in as one of my favorites is that this year in 2022 was hard fought. I was exhausted. By the time the marathon rolled around, I was just, I can't even tell you. I was just so exhausted and I was so miserable, and I literally cried every mile. Every time I saw a mile marker, I would just start crying, and I tried to give up like 3 or 4 times. Last but not least on my list is the Marine Corps Marathon. The Marine Corps Marathon was my very first marathon, and here's the medal from that race. I trained really hard, and during that training season, I was seeing miles that I had never seen before. I had only started running about a year before the race, and I just crazily jumped in. My friend Christina said she wanted to run it, and so I just jumped on board and we trained together, and along with a friend of ours, John, who he doesn't really run anymore, I don't think, but he ran with me and we kicked its butt. For your first marathon, you should never have a time goal because you don't know. You just don't know what is coming at you. And I had never trained for a marathon before. I had barely even run a half. I think I ran my first half marathon that fall, right before Marine Corps, as part of my training. So I didn't know what to expect. So this medal was earned, and I just remember Irene that gave this to me, and I think he thought I was crazy, but I like literally gave him the giantest hug and just started crying because I was so happy that I had finished and I was so proud of myself. And then I couldn't move for the rest of the day because first marathon, Marine Corps Marathon. So I ran the Marine Corps Marathon again in 2017 and got my PR for the marathon, which I have been chasing ever since because I felt so good that day and the weather was perfect and everything just sort of clicked into place that day. So Marine Corps Marathon 2017, that year or the year before, they started doing medals that opened up. So they have the Marine Corps Marathon logo on the inside, and then when you close it, it is the bulbous medal that we were used to before they started doing this. Before this, the medal was like all red, and I felt bad for people who got that one because it was really ugly. I don't mean to say that, but it was. And then there was the shirt debacle for the Marine Corps Marathon where they decided that they were going to put like a photo of all of the runners on the shirt, and then there was like this poor one woman on the shirt who was actually in focus. Nobody else was in focus except for this woman, so I kind of feel bad for her, whoever she is, because it was the ugliest shirt ever. And not because of her, but it was the ugliest shirt ever because I don't know what they were thinking. But anyway, Marine Corps, get it together. But these medals are also amazing. They're some of my favorite medals, so there you go. Then in 2020, I was supposed to run it again, and we all know what happened. There was a shutdown. We don't talk about Bruno, but I did run the virtual Marine Corps Marathon that year, so I have the medal from that. My friend Amanda and I ran it on the local running trail, and we kind of asked a couple of friends if they would join us at different parts, so we had some company. We did 5-mile legs that day, so we had friends who could either join us for 5 miles, they could join us for 10 miles, or any distance that they really wanted. It was really fun, and it was a good time. We had a little aid station set up in the middle where we could stop and we could grab some snacks, and we didn't have to carry a bunch of water, so it was really good. It was really fun, and if I ever had to do a virtual marathon again, I would definitely do it that way. So that was really fun. Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you've made it this far, please comment down below what your favorite marathon is, because I am always looking for a good marathon to sign up for. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more like this on my channel, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and ring that notification bell, and you will be notified every time I post a video on this channel. We are on Vlogmas Day 7. It's gonna be a long way to get to the end of Vlogmas, but it is Vlogmas Day 7, and I will be posting every single day until December 25th. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!